What's up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with my own new review of Love and Hip Hop Family Reunion. Alright, so we are still at Lyrica's open mic night, and MJ went up. And MJ talked about how him and Amara's relationship was put on display on Love and Hip Hop Miami, and he said it's time to cut the bullshit. He don't hate her, he has a lot of love for her, he still loves her, and it stunned Amara because didn't think that he would say that. And she said, you never know what you had until you lost it. And gave off the opening that they don't know what the future holds between them. They can't go back in time, but they can try to move forward. And MJ realizes that he has to let things go so he can move on. He can't keep holding on to that past energy, that negative energy, you know. And basically, I don't know. I feel like Amara and MJ were a good couple. MJ has his faults, but I do think that he made Amara happy. I don't know if they'll get back together. I do think that they care about each other. Gunplay goes up and he talks about battling cocaine addiction, and it landed him facing a life sentence with assault with a deadly weapon. I believe he beat it, but he wanted to prove to be a better man. He manifested a better life, which helped him, find the woman of his dreams and be a father for the first time. He has a baby on the way. And I also did find out that Gunplay will be on the upcoming season of Love and Hip Hop Miami. And when he was on Love and Hip Hop, he was battling his addiction. He was going up and down. He relapsed. And when he finally got the help that he needed, he wanted to showcase that I want a life. I want to live. I want a whole new life and be a whole new person. Miss Nikki Baby talks about losing her brother to drug addiction 7 years ago, and you never know what you have until you lost it. And remembering this on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, where she confided into Tierra when Tierra was battling not admitting being an alcoholic. Miss Nikki Baby noticed the signs. Hence why she was caring so much of Tierra getting better. Tierra, I don't want you to fall down this spiral. I don't want you to fall down this path. I know what it can be. I felt this. I went through this with my brother. I do not want you to turn out like my brother. I love you. I care for you, I never really know much about Miss Nikki Baby, but when she talks about the people that she loves, people she cares for, she shows it. Mariah Lynn wants peace. Jen and Frederick talk about the love they have for each other. Jen went through a lot when her son was premature. Scrap goes up and he talks about being raised by a single woman, which is KK. And not only did she raise him and his brothers, she raised the whole nation. Especially when she stood by him and he was about to serve a 20-year sentence. And he ended with a beautiful spoken word rhyme. I said, come on, snap, snap, scrap. Alexis went up and she talks about being trafficked. Now, she has social anxiety, so it's hard for her to talk about this. She said she came from a great family and she wanted to be her own person. She didn't get that support, so she left, went into the streets, started dancing, and was kidnapped and trafficked for the first few years of her life. And in that time, she didn't know love. She didn't know how to love. And remembering and retelling this story, she gets emotional every single time. And I know it could be hard for her to talk about. And, with her story, folks have been giving her the cold shoulder, not giving her the benefit of the doubt, not believing her story. But she doesn't care because this is her story. So, knowing that she never knew real love, the love that she is knowing is the love from her daughter. And she's keeping her daughter sheltered because she doesn't want anything to happen to her daughter. And gives a message to women everywhere. If you have daughters, keep them close, love them, telling them beautiful, they're smart, and there's nothing in the streets for them. And knowing that Alexis went through a lot as a young woman, I mean, she was a teenager when this happened to her, and she still is a young woman. Hell, she is 28 years old. She's a year younger than me. And she went through a lot for a girl her age. And Tierra Marie saw another side of her, that she went through so much, it makes sense as to why the things that she did. And yes, all the petty childish things that Alexis did because she was battling the trauma she was going through. She thought that doing this meant this because she never knew real love, never knew how to actually care for somebody. And Estelita tells her story, and I remember her telling her this story when she was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, that when she was 15, she came to the U.S., started dancing at 17, and she was assaulted by 5 guys. And from the fact that she was assaulted by 5 guys, she never saw herself as nothing more than an object. Maybe becoming a prostitute because that's all I need to be. All these men just want me for my body, maybe I should sell it. She thought she was cursed from birth, and dealing with all of that, her mother passed away when she was 19. And everybody was bawling hearing this story. And she gets emotional because her mother risks everything for her to come to the U.S. to have a better life. She doesn't look at herself as a victim. She is not looking for sympathy. She's a fighter. You know what I'm saying? She's living her dream life. And all the girls rally around her to tell her, it's okay, girl, we got you. Okay, you are loved. You are beautiful. You are special. You know? And her story gets me to every time. Because I'm like, damn, Miss Lita went through a lot. You know what I'm saying? Alexis went through a lot. You never know somebody's story until you hear them explain their story. And that's what Chrissy said. You never know what somebody else went through to get here. They hide that part. They project that part of hurt, pain, trauma. And you really get to know that person once you peel back those layers. So after having a really good night of opening up, everybody got to bond with each other. They ended with bowling. Spice will be leaving in the morning, headed back to her hometown, Kingston, to give away $5 million. Because growing up in Kingston, there wasn't enough money, especially for books, and now she's in a position where she can give back. Carly talked, no. Carly was not there. Mariah Lynn tells her that Carly owes me an apology, and at the same time, she doesn't even know if she could get one. You know, I don't know if I could receive one or we can even be in a space where we can have a decent conversation where it could go left. And, excuse me, I am not mad that Mariah Lynn is skeptical of where does her and Carly go from here. So what Carly did was wrong, and Mariah Lynn is owed an apology, but based off of how Carly has behaved, will she receive one? Will it be a genuine one? Can they move forward? Who knows, right? Trick Daddy will be leaving the resort for good. He got some things to do, but he is happy that he left when everybody was having a good time. It's the next morning. We see Alexis and Scrap. They have a conversation about open mic night, how it was amazing. It was very, warming to hear him talk about being raised by a single mother and him seeing a different side of her open up to trauma that she went through. And right now, she's just trying to focus on being better, and everybody should focus on having a good time, be on the same page, especially Mariah Lynn and Carly. You know what I'm saying? Let's move past it. Let both of them say, hey, I was wrong. Let's move on, Scrap has an event, a soccer event, because he's a soccer fan. He plays soccer. His son plays soccer. It's a national sport. Figured, that could be another way for us to come together. You can definitely see the sexual chemistry between Alexis and Scrap. I'm here for it. I can see it. Spice is taking Estelita and Carly with her to her hometown. She talks about being from Kingston, and she came from humble beginnings. She was homeless, and she started her foundation, the Grace Foundation, to give back to others, especially in need, especially single mothers in need. To raise $5 million is a huge step to giving back, And Carly talks about missing open mic night and wanting to know what happened because she wasn't ready to go. So open mic night was really beautiful. They all wish she would have been there. And she spoke to Mariah Lynn. Mariah Lynn is hurt. She feels some type of way because she was bullied, you know? And then Carly talks about her past trauma of being bullied. Her mom bullied her when she was a kid, you know what I'm saying? If she ever was to fight her mother or fight back with her mom would beat her with a switch. So she didn't know what to do at that point. And growing up, I guess she was told not to fight back in certain situations, which led for her to stay silent or get mistreated. As much as I don't like bullying, now I wasn't bullied, but I was definitely in a pushover situation. I was definitely taken advantage of growing up. My kindness for weakness, people preyed upon how I am a nice person. I don't mean no harm, and nobody ever saw the true person in me to want to still be my friend. I can see Carly must have had some trauma growing up in her childhood of not being heard and being tossed around, mistreated. I get that. But there's a part of me that wanted to know, was it only towards your mother that it happened to you? Who else hurt you to the point where you still had to operate in a backstabbing, messy, fake person? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel two ways. While Carly could have been bullied a time or two in her childhood, at one point, when did she know and when did she realize that's where it came off? When she would put herself in messy situations that she started, and when it came down to her getting called out, she would cry and play victim and get saved by security. You know, like you claim that you've been bullied this entire time, though, Carly, but you were the one who did most of the bullying. You were the one that caused the most drama. I just want to know the full story. Chrissy and KK have a conversation, and KK originally wanted to hang out with Chrissy because she's the OG. You know what I'm saying? She started the whole franchise. A huge weight was lifted off their shoulders of the open mic event, and everybody having emotions and letting things go. That's what it needs to be. And knowing how Chrissy has been through a lot, she needs to go and sit on somebody else's couch. Because as you can see, she don't hang out with the women on the show because she don't trust women. Even the women in her family, she don't trust. And it flashes back to all the times that Chrissy has gone into situations with women of the past. She's gotten into it with Samaya Reese. She's gotten into it with Kimbella. She's gotten into it with Yandy. You know what I'm saying? She dealt with a lot of bullshit. And feeling like, Nancy coming into the building, that's going to be interesting as well. We all know Mama Jones is a crazy character. And they haven't spoken to each other in several years. Knowing that's her mother-in-law, knowing that they've known each other for 18 years. And the rift between them came when she wanted to control the relationship between her and Jim. You know how crazy and upset that Nancy got when she did not tell Nancy that she was proposing to Jim. I remember that episode. And the whole entire time, Nancy wanted to control the relationship, control how Chrissy should have reacted and behaved being the daughter-in-law. Remember, Yandy gave her the book on how to be a good daughter-in-law, and it came back to bite Yandy in the ass with her and Judy, Medici's mother. Yeah, they have gone back and forth, and it's been so much tension between them. It's caused for Jim to choose and have different relationships with them. So she don't know how she feel with Nancy coming on the trip. You know what I'm saying? Lyrica came in and they first talked about MJ pouring his heart out to Amara. And Chrissy told Amara, listen, she gonna have to just talk to him. You know what I'm saying? I know it's awkward, but she gonna have to talk to him. And who invited Nancy? Mariah Lynn invited her. Now we find out the history of how Mariah Lynn knows Nancy. Mariah Lynn knows Nancy because her nephew Terrell is Mariah Lynn's manager, and she loves Mariah like a daughter. Even though Chrissy was invited to the reunion, she didn't think to invite her mother-in-law. I don't know why. Like, I'm not in a good place with you. I probably ran away to get away from you, for you to be here, and now I have to be confronted with what I was running away from. So Nancy is obviously still feeling a way that she didn't get invited to the reunion by Chrissy. You know, she got invited to the reunion by Mariah Lynn, and she's feeling the type of way. And she talks to Mariah Lynn that her and Chrissy have gone back and forth for years. We love each other, but where's the respect, you know? But it's always been disrespect between Nancy and Chrissy. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be an explosion waiting to happen, you know? Um, and Mariah Lynn told Nancy that Chrissy's been really good to me while being here, you know? And folks can't get mad about who come and who can't come because this is a part of the show. It's time for a scrap soccer event. Everybody had a new team captain. During the soccer event, Chrissy talks about feeling awkward. Oh, no. Chrissy talks to Amara because Amara was feeling awkward that MJ gave a genuine apology and that he still loves her, still cares for her. And I think that she needs to have a conversation with him. I think he's in a mental space to receive a conversation. And yeah, don't put it off, Amara. You know what I'm saying? It is awkward, like she said, but have the conversation. Didn't expect for him to be completely open and honest that he doesn't hate her. He has love for her. He still loves her. And again, I don't know where this conversation could lead. Could it lead to them just being cool? Could it lead for them to be in a relationship in the near future? Who knows? I mean, she just had those twins. I don't know if she's still in a good co-parenting relationship with Alan's folks or with Alan, you know. I don't know where Mara at is in her life at this moment, other than being a single mother with twins. Who knows, you know. Spicy, Carly, and Estelita are still on the road towards Kingston, and she's so happy to give back. So she's giving away vouchers, you know, so everybody can have the ability to get what they want. But her event is packed, way packed than they thought it would be. And hopefully everything will go as planned, everything will go as smooth because she wants everybody to get a voucher. Everybody deserves a voucher. So very happy with the turnout, but it is a lot of people that she never expected it to be. Hopefully everybody can leave happy with the money they deserve and the money they need because she remembers how it feels struggling being a single mother. So as she's starting to pass the voucher, it's starting to get more crowded. The people start to get more aggressive. They're pushing forward to reach out and get the envelopes of the vouchers, you know what I'm saying? And she doesn't like that, you know what I'm saying? She has enough for everybody. But I do not want for the event to get shut down if you guys will keep on pushing and pushing and pushing to reach for the voucher. To the point where the producers were told by security, we have to stop. We have to go. We have to go. And Estelita, Carly, and Spice, they didn't want to leave. They wanted to make sure that everybody got what they deserve. Everybody should receive a voucher, you know what I'm saying? But if the crowd's getting hasty, the crowd is not calming down because she did get on the mic and say, I have enough vouchers for everybody, but I will not be able to get to you guys if you guys don't calm down and stop pushing. Back at the soccer event, Mama Jones arrived and wanted to know who invited her. Amara did. And Amara said, listen, I think that somebody should give me the 411 of who you don't like so I can know who not to invite. You guys don't have no control of that. This is Love and Hip Hop. They will always look for ways to invite people who you do have past history with, past problems with, to bring on the show, to give a show. That's what they do. You know, you guys cannot keep on acting surprised when there's somebody you don't like that comes onto the show, you know? And when Christy saw Mama Jones in the corner, she was like, shit. Because she doesn't know what can happen. You know what I'm saying? It's like a match and a bomb. You know what I'm saying? They could come together and explode. But that was pretty much the episode. The episode was very good. This was needed for them to have an emotional breakthrough. That everybody has a story. Everybody has, you know, their own personal trauma going through. It's not directed towards anybody. It's what they're internalizing. And it was needed. Next episode like is going to be interesting as well. You know, more people have arrived. Chicago comes, you know. But y'all, that's pretty much it. That's all I have. Please stay tuned for next video, and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.